is 5:30 on April 16th, 2024, and I would like to call this HYC meeting to adjournment. I believe that no secretaries are present, so I will be taking roll. Commissioner Nguyen, Commissioner Carranza,
Present.
Commissioner Payne,
Present.
Commissioner Shimizu,
Present.
Commissioner Shea,
Here.
Commissioner Soon, Secretary Duran, Commissioner Machina,
Present.
Vice Chair Millard,
Present.
Vice Chair Azama, I'm present, Commissioner Ho, Commissioner Lim, and Commissioner Brammer.
Here.
Quorum has been met with 8 commissioners in attendance, starting the meeting. So this week's agenda is pretty short. Is there any members of the public that would like to testify? Seeing not, moving on to the approval of minutes. Does anybody motion to approve the March minutes?
Motion to approve the March minutes.
Is there any seconds?
I'll second.
Okay. The March minutes have been approved first by Commissioner Carranza and then by Commissioner Brammer. Moving on to the next agenda item, is there any social media updates from anyone? I believe that that's usually from the secretaries, but unfortunately they're not here. I can quickly look at the growth on the account. It looks like there's 280 accounts reached in the last 30 days, and there is an increase in 3,900% in the accounts engaged, and we gained 0.08 followers. So that's kind of high compared to what we had before, especially the engagement increase. I don't think it's ever been anything like above 100, so 3,000 is pretty good. That's all the updates, and then there was no new survey responses, unfortunately, for this Youth Commission survey. Does anyone else have anything to discuss under old business?
Would it be appropriate to discuss what went over in the town halls that we saw?
That we can put in new business.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seeing not, moving on to the PIGs. Is there any updates from the PIG for education? I don't know if any of the members are present. Okay, seeing not, defueling Red Hill. Yeah, I don't think that's usually Vice Chair Azama, I believe. The youth intervention and trafficking.
There was no meeting, but there was talk about meeting soon and branching out towards like other possible issues, and we did have a guest speaker at our last meeting, so we were going to talk about that and if we would possibly want to have her and her team speak at a possible commission meeting.
Who do you guys speak with?
It was Commissioner Ho who scheduled it. Her name was Jessica from Ho'olanapua, and she talked about the state of youth trafficking in Hawaii.
Do you want to that sounds really interesting. Do you want to go over a little bit?
Yeah, so this was a while ago. This was actually a couple months ago, but so we talked, I think we went over this briefly, but she basically just talked about different situations in Hawaii, what she's experienced and seen across the island, and how she's noticed that nothing's really been done even when they've been reported. And she kind of just talked about possible solutions and just how she felt about the whole issue as a whole.
Sounds very cool. I look forward to hearing more from that. And then was there anything from the PIG for outreach?
I don't believe so.
Seeing that with the PIG interaction groups, I think we covered everything. And then under new business, I know it wasn't written into the agenda, but I just wanted to use this time to have commissioners who attended the town halls from the mayor to kind of talk about what they did, and then kind of encourage you all to attend those town halls. So if anyone wants to share.
Did anyone attend the first one?
So I know Mackenzie and we attended, we're from Kailua, so we attended the town hall meeting that represented Kailua, I think Kaneohe, and Manalo at KIS. And I think I definitely encourage going to the meetings, because when we went, it helped us understand better all of the public's policy priorities that they brought up. So I'd say the majority of issues surrounded a couple main topics. So one of them being waste management, and so which a lot of people are concerned about the water quality in the oceans, the waste management practices, and also just kind of the update surrounding it was that they were talking about how they're addressing it by launching more investigations into the actual sewage treatment, and also addressing the public concerns, because they were talking about how a lot of the E. coli found in the water is actually from soil and runoff that couldn't be traced to the sewage treatment facilities. So it's good to know that they're at least investigating it and trying to improve that. Another main issue that they were talking about was the housing crisis, which I know we've had some past resolutions on that regarding trying to, better use parking lots, for example, as an area to house people. And so they were talking about trying to prevent bringing homeless people to hospitals that didn't need to be hospitalized, as a way to prevent the hospitals from losing a lot of money and draining resources, and also to better help homeless people, because oftentimes it's substance abuse and mental health issues. So I think if people are curious about possible resolutions to write in the future, we could focus on trying to figure out ways that would work to make more mental health facilities that could either be walk-in and also able to bring the homeless to, because there aren't that many, so it's hard to alleviate pressure from the hospitals, especially they were talking about Queen's Hospital losing a lot of money over it. And I think another policy, a lot of members of the public actually brought up keiki sports as something they really wanted to be emphasized, because Hawaii and a number of states in America suffer from obesity, so it's really good to begin those healthy lifestyle practices from a young age. And so we have a lot of parks, which a lot of them are controlled by the applicable county, and so something that could be good to focus on writing resolutions about could be trying to make the outreach for youth sports better, for affordable youth sports, because there's club sports that are really expensive and aren't accessible for a lot of lower income families. And so you guys are probably going to see some of these issues addressed next meeting when we have the resolutions. But yeah, I think that about covers it, trying to have the waste management, the mental health for the homeless, and also affordable youth sports for kids in every district, because they'll have some, but they're not year-round, and a lot of them are only for high school students instead of keiki under middle school and below, because their schools don't always offer the program, and usually the sports aren't year-round, so it can be helpful to, yeah. Did you have anything to add?
I think that was mostly the what people talked about the most. That was the most popular issue. So, yeah. How would you guys describe your experience at the town halls?
It was really impressive, actually. Mm-hmm. So not only was the mayor there, but there were so many people who worked in all of the offices. So it's a good way to think of bringing guest speakers, and we were able to talk about people who are in charge of a lot of the environment, trying to reach our 100% renewable by 2045 goal. There were people there for the waste management. So it was super beneficial, actually, because every time a member of the public had a question, there were specific people who worked in that specific field who were able to answer and talk about the things they're actually doing to remedy the problems. And so just so you guys know what to expect as well, they also asked the present youth commissioners to come up and give a little introduction as to why we were there and what our priorities were for the community. Yeah, anything?
I was really impressed with the community turnout. I
Ooh,
got
yeah.
there and like literally the entire thing was full. I had to park really far away, so. But yeah, it was really, there were a lot of people there. There were probably a few hundred people, so I was impressed.
Yeah, it's a great community turnout.
And me, Riley, and Esther went to the second town hall. That had a really big turnout as well. The main issues that were talked about were issues that, or discussions that were already reoccurring in that community, but it was infrastructure, homelessness, public safety, and then a lot of people had discussed a skate park. Wahiwa has like the smallest skate park, and that was a big thing that the community showed up for. And then also the Wahiwa pool. Apparently there's issues with heating and stuff like that, and those were some more newer discussions that were had. But besides that, it was really great. I plan to go to some of the ones that aren't even in my district to continue to understand the broader discussion of issues in our community.
Yeah, I guess it seemed that similar to the Kailua, the turnout was really great, and the communities were super strong, especially in the one that me, Diego, and Esther went. What we noticed was there was a lot of, it seemed that there were like younger people at the Wahiwa one who were passionate, especially about the skate park, and they kind of came as groups, and similar to your guys, the youth sports and just kind of fixing up certain things which they wanted was pretty impressive. And I think also council persons Okimoto and Waya were there too, so I got a chance to speak to Okimoto and catch up a little bit. But yeah, super impressive on the turnout.
Was it like young people like our age or like?
They were older. I would say they were in their like 20s, and then some of the younger ones were for like sports. I think there was one about a hockey team. I think one of the teams went there, and one of the players spoke, and they got their word out.
That's so. I think I'm going to one later this month, so I'm excited. So, moving on to the next agenda item, unless anybody else had anything to say about. No.
Oh, sure can. Sorry,
Yeah.
wait. Can I motion to amend the March minutes?
Yeah.
Can I motion to amend my attendance as yay?
Yes. I will send that to the secretaries. Let me write that down.
We have to vote on that, right?
Oh yes.
Yeah, so I'll second the motion.
Thank you.
I'll third it. What were we- Was it the March one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the March one.
Sorry about that. When
No worries, no worries.
I'm writing it in all caps, so it'll get done. Don't worry. Okay. Was there anything else under new business? Okay. Seeing not, moving on to the next agenda item, which is the future agenda items. This meeting and this last meeting a month ago were very short, but we do have something to look forward to in the next, what is that, May meeting? In the May meeting, there's, I think, 4 resolutions right now from Commissioner Payne and Commissioner Shimizu that I briefly looked over, and they look very interesting, and I think they're going to start like a lot of conversation amongst us. So we'll have that ready. And then also just a reminder to you all, resolutions and documents are due to me a week before the meeting. So, especially the minutes, I know it's been a thing. So, yeah, I think last chance for anybody to say anything. Nope. Okay, seeing not, I think.
Campbell, just one announcement.
Yes.
But since it's Earth Month, I saw Sustainable Coastlines has a couple events coming up in the next couple weekends. I think they're both like either beach cleanups or other cleanups. I'm not sure the location of the second one. But there's one coming up on this Sunday, I believe. Yeah, this Sunday, and then also one next week Saturday. So I'll probably send a screenshot of what I saw in our chat we have going. But yeah, I think it'd be awesome if maybe a few of us can go out to those if you guys are free on weekends. I'll probably try to go to at least one of those events. And if you guys go, maybe we can wear our jackets or something to be matching. But yeah, I'll send something in the chat with more of the details, and then we can respond in there if anyone else happens to be making it out to those. But yeah, I just wanted to share that out now.
Yeah, that sounds great. Definitely send that in the signal. I know I don't have anything to do on the weekends. So. Anything else from anyone? Okay, seeing not, I'd like to adjourn the April HYC meeting to a close at 5:47. Have a good night, y'all.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Good night.